2. Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. We are going to make sure that Instagram land is in the building. So let's make sure that we are live over there on Instagram. Sometimes it takes a couple of seconds for it to populate and for that blue button to be available. It was just available for me, so it should be available for you in the next couple of seconds, Danny. So make sure that you go over to Instagram and click that live.
Over right now. Yep. Yay.
Excellent. Yay. So, hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well. I hope all is well. You should be hearing my voice now on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. My name is Alison Wellington, certified dating and relationship coach. And I primarily work with busy professional women to teach them how to attract and keep the husbands that they deserve. Every Friday, I have what I like to call my Finetune Fridays, because our whole lives is not about a man, and our whole lives is not about a husband, and our whole lives isn't about children. We want to make sure that we are leveling up in every aspect of our lives. And so I have an expert every Friday come on to give us some insight on how we can level up and fine tune the other areas of our lives that are worthy, if not more, at least equal to our dating and relationship life. So at this point, I'm going to turn the microphone on to Danni, or over to Danni, where she's going to do her introduction, and we're going to talk about what we are talking about this Finetune Fridays. Miss Danni? Go ahead, girlfriend.
Oh, hey, no, it was a lag in the time. Hi. So my name is Danni, and wait, say it again. We're going to go back. There's a lag, so I'm just going to keep talking. Okay. Can you hear me? Because there's a lag in the...
Yep, I can hear you. You shouldn't be looking at...
so I'm just going to talk.
Instagram. Just go straight. Just look at...
All right. I'm going to just go straight. Okay. So my name is Danni, and I am a 51-year-old mom, business owner, just all around badass. And I help women who are approaching midlife or who are in midlife really go into their next stage of their life, creating the life of their dreams. So that means, helping them with their wellness. That means supporting them with their mindset. That means really helping them figure out what type of skincare is going to work for them, supporting them in accomplishing their goals. Really, I'm a community person. So this is really about building community of like-minded women who are going in a direction that I am moving in, which is really just living well.
I love that. So to me, you're right on time. I can hear you. It aligns with your lips. So to me, there's no lag. So just make sure that you're watching us, watching the StreamYard screen, and not Instagram. Instagram is behind. All right. So
I am on the StreamYard screen. You are paused. You are not moving.
Frozen, like all together?
Yeah. Wow. But I can hear you. You're frozen. You look beautiful. Like you are just frozen in like beauty right now. But I can hear you in real time on StreamYard, so I'm going to stay here and not go back over to Instagram.
Okay. Well, let us know in the comments, y'all, if you are coming in through Facebook, if you are coming in through YouTube. If I'm frozen, if Danni is frozen, I can exit, come back in. But it looks perfect on my end for both of us. So we're going to keep going unless somebody in the comments says otherwise. And then we can exit and come back. Oh, you know what? Maybe we need to take our talents elsewhere. Maybe the algorithm is not on our side today, and that's okay too.
And that's okay too.
Okay. So with the fact that you shared that you work with women who are approaching midlife, that is me, or women who are in midlife, create the lifestyle that they envision, live the life that they envision. What is that vision? What do you find your clients are looking for? What are they looking to create in their life that they don't already have?
So I find that most of my clients come to me and they are feeling stuck. They've built this life. They've built this life either around children and partners, and may have lost themselves. They're in midlife and going, okay, what's next, right? I am taking care of everyone else, but am I truly taking care of myself? Mm-hmm. And, when they talk to me about the life they envision, I always ask, like, well, what was the life you envisioned when you were in high school? Like, what did you think your adult life was going to be like? When you were in college or, in school, or when you went out into the workforce, what did you envision your life was going to be like? Because rarely is our lives actually that, right? Because we know what we want, and then the world tells us we can't do it. Right? We're listening to the messages around us trying to put us into a box, and whether that be family, whether that be friends, whether that just be society, we put ourselves on the back burner to please everyone else. And so the question that I ask is, what did you want your life to look like? And how I answered that question myself is, when I was in college, I thought that I was going to come out of school and I was going to be a fitness person. So like, I have a degree as health and physical education, K through 12. I'm a certified teacher. And I was a licensed personal trainer. I was a licensed aerobic instructor. And I just loved activity, and I loved helping people. And so I thought that was going to be my life, right? I mean, it started out as a trainer, and then it would just kind of go from there. That is not what happened, right? Life happened to me. When I was in college, I was blessed to I was a senior in college, and I had my daughter. She's now 29 years old. And so when we have children, right, or when things come into our lives that we may have planned or not planned, we now have to figure out, how are we going to succeed? How are we going to make this money? What is our life going to look like? And our life is no longer our own. And so we build this life around trying to make sure that we don't fail, right? That we can pay our bills and these kids can go to school. And then you turn around and it's 20 years and these kids are grown, or even if they're still young and you've had children, your life is still not your own.
Right.
And so it may not look like what you thought it may have looked like. And so the first step really is defining, well, what do you want life to look like? And you can't be afraid to dream. You can't be afraid to think like, I want to be on TV someday. That might be your goal. It don't have to be anybody else's, right? And it's still attainable for you. So I had to really look at, where's my life now? And I know my life didn't look anything like I thought it was going to look like, right? And I was not happy about it, right? That my life didn't look like I wanted it to look like. And so I first had to define, well, what do I want it to look like? And then I had to start hearing my mind, well, what do I deserve? Can I turn my life around just by creating what I want or what I think? Can I manifest that in my mind? How do I do that? And so that's where we start.
Okay. So talk to us more about the mindset.
Yes.
So what does it take? You said step one was having that clear vision. Where am I right now? What do I want it to look like instead? So that's step one. We got that. What's step two? What's step three? I was going to say tree, right?
Our West Indians coming out.
Yeah. So what does it look like to prepare ourselves mentally before we actually do the task? And for my people who are coming in, who might be like, oh, this is the mindset. This is the most important part. I mean, we're going to get to the hard and fast stuff, but if the mindset is not in place, nothing is going to work. So walk us through, Danni, what is required of a woman who really wants to make a shift to live the life that she says she deserves?
So the first thing that I did, and the first thing that I recommend clients do, is either to invest in a coach and or a therapist, and sometimes both. I have both. I have a coach and a therapist, right? And because see, when you clarify, when you say to yourself, you know what, I'm not living that first step. I'm not living the life that I thought I would live. I'm not living the life that I want to live, right? Now you have to unpack and unravel all the reasons why. And this is not an overnight thing, right? You have to unpack all the reasons why you are not living the kind of life that you're living, right? And so I spent probably 2 years in coaching and therapy before I could make a change. And the first thing I said to my coach was, because again, I didn't initially know what I wanted. I just knew I was not happy with what I was doing and how I was living. And the first thing I said to her was, how do I bloom where I'm planted? Because in my mind, I wasn't really ready to make a drastic change. I knew something needed to be done, but I didn't know it would be as drastic as it was. And I don't think we ever truly know what it's going to take. And we probably shouldn't, because we probably wouldn't do it if we did. Right? So God ain't gonna let you know, because you might not do it, right? That fear and the self-preservation will take over. And so it was literally Therapy, how do I bloom where I'm planted? How do I deal with and thrive in the life that I've currently created for myself? How do I make space for those little changes that I know that I'm going to have to make? And it really took us to go back, to, who I was in college, how I grew up and the things that, were happening around me or not happening around me, and how my view of myself was shaped through all of that. And that shapes how we view ourselves today. And my therapist would tell me, you're a badass. And I'd be like, I hear you, but I'm not really feeling it, right? Because other people can see your greatness a lot of times before you can see it. They can see your capabilities. And so the first step was really unraveling and unpacking all of the trauma, all of the self-talk that I have done over the years, the mind trash that I had, and me not talking nice to myself. And so it took me a while to unravel that.
Okay. So now we've decided that the life that we are living, we no longer want to live that way, right? We want to make a change. We're speaking with a professional. If it's a therapist, if it's a coach, it's someone who we have designated can help us get the clarity that we need. Now that we believe that we deserve more, we understand we have to do something different to get a different result. What's the next step? Is it implementation? Like, what does it look like now to create the life that we say, that we claim that we deserve?
Yep. So first, let me say that as you are in coaching, there are going to be several iterations of what you think your life should look like, because a lot of times you don't truly know, right? And so there are going to be several iterations of that. And so the first thing is implementation, starting to make space in your life for little changes. So for me, the first step for me was setting boundaries. The first step for me was, okay, I have all these people in my life. I had to start thinking about them differently. I had to start thinking about them. And I'm not talking about my team of paid people. I'm talking about the people who are actually in my life, the people in my family, in my home, the people who are in my network, and saying, okay, this is my team. Is this team helping me or hindering me? Who needs to stay on the team? Who needs to be removed from the team? Who needs to be promoted, demoted, deleted, the whole thing, right? And how is this team supporting this life? Because naturally, as women, we are supporters of everyone else. We are entrenched in everyone else's lives and change. And a lot of times we don't get the same in return.
Got it.
And so who is in my life that can support, right? So I'll just give you an example. For me, my unpaid team was my children, right? The 10-year-old, the 18-year-old, and the 29-year-old. They on the team, and they all got to serve a purpose, because I serve a purpose to them, right? And so what things are happening around us that they can take off of my plate, because I don't got to do everything, right? Because we can't be everybody's savior. So what can these three do? Like, my son can now do his own laundry. I had to teach him that so that I'm not doing laundry. Can you imagine the weight that takes off of, women with, the never ending laundry that we have to do, right? So I had to now teach him certain things, because either I'm going to have to teach the people or I'm going to have to bring more people in, right? And you may have to do both. So he had to learn how to do his own laundry. He has since learned how to make his breakfast in the air fryer. He really teaching him how to be a little bit more self-sufficient, so that I didn't have to do it. And also training him how to be a good husband should he choose to, so that his wife doesn't have to do all that invisible labor and take care of him, because he can't take care of himself because his mama did everything.
Right.
Another story, right? But teaching him to be independent so that I didn't have to step in and do those things for him, which freed up time for me. With my two children, it was, okay, both of them are working in the business. Do they have the responsibility that they are capable of in this business to take some of the things off my plate? Am I doing too much, right? And I just wrote down a list of everything I had to do and started plugging in names. Who gonna do this? Who gonna do that? Who gonna do that? And if they didn't know how to do it, my job was to train them appropriately to be able to do it, right? And to check back in and give them parameters for me to check back in and make sure that these things are done. You can do this even if you don't own a business. Like, what are the functions that you need done in your life, and who can support you with that? And do you need to bring on help? Do you have friends who are in your life who you see all the time? How can they support because you support them? right? So is this a reciprocal relationship that you have going on, or are you just giving of your time and your resources and your mental energy, right? It has to be reciprocal. And so I started there. Who can I delegate things to in my life? Because you got to treat your life like a business.
Right. So let me ask you, how does that directly relate to aging more gracefully? Is it less stress? Like how does that directly relate to you feeling your most youthful and energetic and positive self?
Yeah. Well, the one thing, it frees up your time. And in order for you to do the things that are required for you to age gracefully, whatever those things are for that particular person, you need time, right? If you want to create a gym regimen, well, you got to have time to do that, right? If you're doing everything, how do you have the time?
Yep.
Right? If you are doing everything for everyone and everyone's coming to you, you are the person, the stress. There were nights I couldn't sleep because everybody else's problems are on my mind. And if I can't sleep, how can I replenish my skin and look more youthful? Right? So you're talking about specifically stress and time. Those two things, it's going to lower your stress and it's going to increase the time that you have to make space for yourself to put these little micro habits into your life. And it's not going to change overnight. It is like, okay, who can help with this? I need maybe 30 minutes every day. How can I get that? Who can do this during that time slot where I don't have to do that? Right? So it's time and it's stress. And those directly impact our lives and directly impact how we age. Stress causes wrinkles, and don't nobody want that. Well, I mean, I don't want it. I don't know what y'all want, but I don't want it.
Got it. Understood. Now, as someone who's approaching midlife herself and decided to have children later on, right? I think it was a great decision financially, in terms of patience, but then now it's like sleep where? Sleep how? Sleep when, right? Now it's managing my time. I'm running the business. I want to be a good present mom. I want to be a good present wife, sister, friend. So in your community, in your transformation tribe, is there another conversation for women who are approaching midlife, however, maybe in a stage that hasn't been traditionally the case, where you have older kids, they can take over. Phoenix.
Oh, I know. Remember, my son is just 10. So I remember I had him at 41. So I remember. So absolutely. You want to finish or should you want me to?
No. That's it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. So what I will say is your day of course going to look different than somebody who has older kids, right? So you are going to have to live and die by your schedule. You are going to have to live and die by your schedule. Everything in your life is going to have to be very regimented and very scheduled. And I recommend that whether you have children, grown or little or none, right? In order for you to get things accomplished, you gotta write those things down, and you have to live and die by that schedule so that you do things not because you feel like it, because that's what's on the schedule, right? When it comes to little kids, you already know your babies are on a schedule. Right now, the schedule gets screwed up if people are sick and if something happens. We already know kids are unpredictable, right? For the most part, though, especially I notice like people with small children, their children, if you're thriving in your family, it's because those children are on a schedule. Right? You have sleep trained. You have they have a nap at a certain time, and that nap is non-negotiable. When my son was little, up until he was probably about 6 or 7. We had family nap time. It didn't matter what day of the week it was. If I was home, family nap time was 12 o'clock. And he was going down whether he wanted to or not. He was in the bed with me. I put my arm around him and we laying down. And if he don't want to go to sleep, guess what? He going to be quiet because I had to get some rest. Right. And so it may be for you or for a older mom who has younger kids, maybe during that time that child is sleeping, maybe you are working on whatever. Maybe you are working out. Maybe you're working on your business. But there's something in that time slot, right? Even if you know that baby is asleep for 2 or 3 hours, maybe the first hour you're sleeping, and then the next 2 hours or hour, you are doing something very specific that you had on your schedule to do. Right? Because it's about doing little things every day and not trying to get everything done in one time. So for older women who have younger children, you are going to have to live and die by that schedule. Everybody got to be on a schedule. Okay. Even baby, because that's the only way you're going to get this accomplished.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Okay.
Let me hear it.
I'm sure people say, oh, Alison, you're always talking about investing. I was on Threads And I
Okay.
saw a woman talk about a sleep coach and how this sleep coach was a game changer for her because the sleep coach taught her how to put her children on a sleep schedule to
That's
ensure that
right.
they were sleeping through the night and had their naps in the day, which gave her the freedom to just be. Because I'm sure you remember, like you can't use the bathroom, you can't shower, you can't eat, like just to be. Forget about tasks, like real tasks.
Yep. Yep.
And the difference that it made in marriage, the difference it made in my ability to take a shower and to feel clean and good was a
Yep.
game changer for me because I invested my dollars in this sleep coach. And it might sound ridiculous. I'm sure if my mother heard this, she'd be like, "Oh my, you paying somebody?" Yes, because you don't know, because
Right.
you was letting us sleep whenever we wanted to, and you was stressed out and had a
That's
little bit
right.
more attitude than you needed to have as a mother.
That's
Right?
right.
You're overwhelmed, and now you taking it out on me. You know that old joke when they say,
Yes.
"You have 5 apples." Why? You yelling
Right.
at your kid because you're overwhelmed and stressed. No, take that money and get a tutor because
That's right.
that's not your ministry, right?
That's right.
We need to get up off them dollars. We need to stop making us wear every single hat in our lives, and then we're surprised when we're overwhelmed, we're stressed out, we're nasty, we're angry, we yelling at people who don't deserve it. Our
Yep.
cortisol is up, our stress levels are up, our
Yep.
weight is up,
Yep.
our skin isn't skinning the way that it
That's
should,
right.
our relationships aren't as healthy as they should be because we are overwhelmed,
That's
because we
right.
won't let go of the mighty dollar that we work so hard for. Find somebody else to do it.
Can I tell you? I'm so glad you brought this up. Can I tell you that one of the things I read this book? I forgot the name of the book, but anyway. Oh, well, whatever. I'll tell you later. But it talked about hiring a personal assistant. Now, hear me out.
Hmm.
I know a lot of us folks, especially us Caribbean folks, hear about hiring an assistant. When I told my family I was hiring an assistant, they thought I was the most bougiest person in the whole world. I mean, they let me have it in the family chat. You hear me? But let me tell you why I think that everyone who has some disposable income should hire a personal assistant and how cheap it can actually be. So there are things in your life that it is not the best use of your time. If you are working outside of the home, laundry is not the best use of your time. If you are working outside of the home, cooking is not the best use of your time. If you are working outside of the home, running errands, returning items that you need to return, and the dry cleaners and the food shopping, that is not the best use of your time.
I agree.
Now, let me tell you how you can do this. A personal assistant, what I did is I put an ad out on Indeed, talk about all the things that I would need this person to do, right? And in my mind, the pay was going to be about $20 an hour. I would go as high as 25 if for the right person, right? And it was only 20 hours a week. You're talking 5 hours a day. You may not even need that. You may need 3 days a week at 15 hours, like 5 hours for 3 days, right? You do that math. I ain't good at math. But 20 times 20 times 20, what is that per week?
Wait. So you were 25 hours. That's 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 times 5 days. It's 500 a week.
Do you know the stuff that I spend $500 on that I don't need? Do you know? And you don't even need 25 hours. I need that because I want to help with the business. You could even do 10 hours a week. That 10 hours, you can have somebody doing your laundry, or you can send your laundry out. You can have that person going to pick up stuff for you, doing your Christmas shopping, running errands. And that can be someone who's in school, something who's in the creative field and they're auditioning, and so they need something flexible. Do you know the load that took off of me? Being able to show up fully, not only for my family, but show up for myself, just because that time was off of my hand. I didn't have to worry about it, right? I started sending my laundry out. I got a washing machine to dry it downstairs. But who got time to wash them? Not me. I started sending the laundry out. Good money spent, because I didn't have to wash or fold.
Yep.
Right? My personal assistant would take the laundry, put them in the drawers for me. When I was going on my conferences, would pack my suitcase, unpack my suitcase when I came back, like, you know, run errands, return things for me, did my Christmas shopping for my nephews. And then it's evolved now to where my sister, her name is not Tawanda, like Tony Braxton. She calls herself my Tawanda. You know, Tony Braxton, her sister Tawanda is her personal assistant. She says she's my Tawanda. I pay her to be my personal assistant in personal and in the business, where virtually. So she does things for me, things that I do not have the time to do, and it's not a good use of my time.
Yeah.
So I would say consider, you know, coming up off some of that dime, just a little bit, because what you're going to get back is like just the value is just there. You know, like when you hire someone, whether it be a coach, and I always recommend hiring a coach to collapse your time, right? Collapsing time for you, you know, is something that it's a game changer.
Yeah.
So I would say get the help that you need and don't be afraid to spend that money, because it'll be a game changer for you.
Yeah. And you'll get it
back. You can fast track this.
And you'll get it back.
And you exponentially.
Yeah.
Exponentially, you will be happier, right? You will be more at ease. You will have time and space to do those things that are going to help you to age gracefully. Again, whatever aging gracefully looks like for you, because it looks different for everybody. Yeah.
I want us to walk away now that we've worked on the mindset, the vision. We know what we want our life to look like. We understand that we need to find time in our schedule to execute on what that vision looks like. If that means that we are renegotiating with the members of our team, as you put it, so that we can divvy those tasks to provide more time for us. If that means that we're investing so that we can have someone to do some of those tasks, we need to find the time. Now that we found the time, what are we doing with that time? So Danni, can you give us 3 free or low cost things that we can do in order to age more gracefully? And then we'll go into the larger investment. 3 free or low cost things that we can do to age more gracefully.
Yep. All 3 things that I'm getting ready to recommend are free or virtually free. So let's start with where we left off before, prioritizing your sleep. You are not going to be able to age gracefully if you don't prioritize sleep. As a woman, as an adult, you need between 7 and 8 hours of sleep a night. Now, I know it gets difficult, right? I don't always get that. I get it the majority of the time because I'm intentional about it, right? This is all about intention, right? And in order to do that as a busy woman, whether you have children or have young children or grown children, it doesn't matter. You are going to have to live and die by your schedule so that you can be intentional about getting you behind the bed so that you can sleep those 7 to 8 hours. I would always say 8 if you can, 7, okay. Because your skin is going to show that age if you don't let it rest to replenish. The skin is the largest organ in your body. Okay. And we have to sleep, and we have to also, rest our brains. We have to get sleep. And when you don't get enough sleep, you are foggy and irritable during the day. So the first thing I would do is prioritize and protect your sleep time. That's the first thing. The second thing would be hydration. Now, I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't like water. I know. Don't kill me. I don't like it. No, it don't have no taste. I don't like it. Huh?
So you got a whole.
I don't like it. It is not fun to drink. It don't taste good to me. People be like, it don't have no taste. What it do to me? I don't like it, right? So hydration can mean a couple of different things, right? Hydration can mean straight water, right? You want to at least, I'm not one of these drink a gallon a day. You need a gallon a day. At least 64 ounces a day, right? Of fluid, of hydration, right? You can have plain water, or you can infuse fruit and different like spices like mints into your water to give it some flavor. That's a great way to get your water in if you do not like the taste of plain water, is mixing your water with fruit or with mint or with cucumbers. Like that it's a game changer for some people. right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, the best water, and we can talk about that another time, but the best water is water from high water content fruits like watermelon,
Mm-hmm.
right? Though, like that water gets into your cells and really hydrates you, right? So if you juice, that's amazing. You can juice,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that can be your form of hydration, but you got to get your hydration, because I will tell you this: a lot of times you don't have wrinkles, your skin is dehydrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at your skin and you like look at it and you see, like, you can see like the little lines in your skin, and you do
Mm-hmm.
this and your skin doesn't like automatically kind of go back down, you're
Yep.
dehydrated. And that will affect your glow. You'll get wrinkles. And a bonus, I'm gonna give you a bonus tip with the hydration: add collagen to your hydration.
Like powdered collagen.
Collagen powder. Collagen powder is going to be a game changer, because it is going to it'll support your skin, it'll support your bone health, it'll support your nail growth, it'll support your hair growth. You will see that putting a serving of collagen into your hydration daily, your skin is going to start to just glow from the inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's tip number 2. So let's recap. The first tip was prioritize and protect your sleep. The second one was hydration. The third, this is all about
Mm-hmm.
food and what you intake. The third is prioritize protein.
Mm-hmm.
If you do not get your protein in, your body is like, everyone wants that hourglass shape. They want that a boom, boom. You're not going to have none of that if you don't prioritize your protein, right? Especially if you want to lose weight, right? Because you don't want your skin to be sagging. You want to give your body what it needs to build muscle, and muscle burns fat. Okay. Bonus tip for this first tip is weight train. Weight training is going to help you with the burning of fat. I mean, weight training is the gift that keeps on giving. Okay. Because when you do cardio, you burn calories, and then when you're done, the calorie burn is done. When you weight train, you are burning calories in your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you really want, and if you want that body to be bodying, you want to weight train, because that's the way it gives your skin shape. It gives your muscle shape. Like, that's how you look. Like, oh, look at that body right there. Weight training.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 3 things. It was prioritize your protein, hydration, and protecting your sleep. Those are the 3 free or low cost. And I say free because you got to buy food anyway.
Right.
So it's kind of free because you're already doing it.
Okay, good. I'm putting notes. The notes are on YouTube. The notes are on Facebook. See if I can put a couple notes on Instagram. Those are 3 either free or low cost ways to slow down the aging process. So then now, because I am a person, DIY is not for me. We talked about time being limited. My time is limited. My efforts is limited, and I want to invest it the way that I want to invest it. Therefore,
That's right.
That's a great start, and I appreciate that. But tell me, how can I skip the line? How can I quicken my process? How can I slow down aging more aggressively so that I'm aging gracefully? Give me how I can invest in it so that I can skip the line, get results. Because I'm impatient, girl, and I want to get results, and I want them now. So give me 3 paid ways, significant investment.
Oh, definitely. So here we go. Wait, I got them all 3. Well, let's be sure. Okay. Okay. The first thing I'm going to say, because I am all about the skin, because again, your skin is the largest organ in your body. We're taking it back to science class in middle school, right? I would tell you to invest in professional skin treatments.
Okay.
I can give you some examples of that. It could be a chemical peel. It could be microdermabrasion. It could just be a facial. Find yourself a licensed esthetician, or want a spa that has licensed estheticians, and work with them to see what your skin needs. Having professional skin treatments will collapse that time needed for that skin to glow. Okay?
Right.
If your skin is looking dull, it will no longer look dull. You can't forget about the underlying stuff like hydration and your daily skincare. But your esthetician is going to help you to create those routines for you and tell you the products to use. They may even have products for you to use. So do not skim on the professional skincare.
Got it.
That's one. Okay. And that can be very high end. Right? It could be very high end or it could be mid. It just depends on, there's something for everyone when it comes to professional skincare, right? So just do your research. Number two, a big favorite of mine is lymphatic drainage. Your body has lymph nodes in a couple of places. They have here, underneath your underarms. I mean, you notice like when you get sick, your lymph nodes, like you feel here, and they could be swollen, right? Okay, your lymphatic system is what, what all that stuff travels throughout your body. You want to make sure that toxins are leaving your body every single day. And so there are things that I do to do that. So number one, invest in body sculpting, lymphatic drainage. Now, high end, you can go to a spa to do that. There are plenty of them, right? Pick a good, person who's maybe a licensed esthetician, who's been doing this for a while, and they are going, and I was doing it like at one point, like once a week, then I moved to every 2 weeks, right? Now I do it once a month because I know how to do it at home. Now, if you want to go, if you still got to spend money, but if you want to go a little bit low end or supplement, if you want to do it like once a month, but then do it on your own in between, you will, and it's on my Amazon storefront. You can go onto Amazon and you can get like the wood therapy, the tools, which will help you. So watch, there'll be, my YouTube channel launches March 1st. And so there'll be plenty of videos there about lymphatic drainage in your face, in your body, and how that supports with how puffy your face may or may not look. It'll help you get all that toxin and sickness out of your body. One thing that I also do that I have at home, in addition to doing the professional lymphatic drainage and my DIY with my wood therapy tools, I also purchased a vibration plate. A good vibration plate costs about $200. It's also on my Amazon storefront, the one that I have. And I get on my vibration plate for 15 minutes every morning when I wake up. And it's just a plate that kind of shakes.
Yeah, that's what really works though, Danni. Like, I've seen it. Does it really make a difference?
It does. It helps with muscle repair. It helps, like there's so many benefits to lymphatic drainage. Even the high-end gyms, I'm a member of Lifetime Fitness, and the high-end gyms have the vibration plates there. Right? And so what I will say is there's no one magic bullet, right? It is a combination of all these things that you are going to do that's going to make up your regimen, that's going to help you to be just glowing inside and out. But yeah, that vibration plate, I get out in the morning, I get out in the afternoon, and in the evening before I go to bed. And what I noticed in particular, because I train really hard, like I have, like, we work out with our trainer 3 times a week, like we train really hard. And when I have a really hard training day and I know I'm going to be sore for the next week, when I started using my vibration plate morning and night, that soreness stopped. I didn't have any more soreness, even though my muscles were still repairing, right? Because I was doing things to support my body in repairing itself and moving that fluid and the toxins out of your body.
Okay, and what's the last one?
The last one is, what was the last one? Hold on, give me 1 second. Last one. Thought I wrote it down, but yes, no. Last one is one thing that we love: travel. In particular, wellness retreats, retreats with your favorite coaches. That is a game changer. My travel over the last 2 years have mostly been conferences or retreats or masterminds, right? And I went to your retreat in March, which was so amazing. And it was amazing because I got to meet like-minded women who were all on the same journey with me. We got to be in community with one another. We got to learn from you, which our coach, and you come back renewed and ready to take on the world. Travel, but in particular wellness travel and business travel, it helps me to set my goals. It helps me to dream. And in order for you to glow up in midlife, you got to start dreaming again, dreaming like when you were 5, right? And you thought I was going to be a firefighter, or I was going to be a superhero and jump off buildings, right? you got to be able to dream, and you got to put yourself in spaces where it's easy to dream, and put yourself around people who are also dreamers, and around experts who know how to support you in getting there. So I say all that to say, if you ain't signed up for Alison's
Ready, Set, Love retreat, we are going to St.
Honey, I was there last year, and
yes, March 28th through April 1st.
Game changer. So those are my 3 things, I would say: professional skin treatments, lymphatic drainage, and wellness and business travel.
I love that. I love that. All right, folks, you have heard it here first. I want to give Danni the opportunity just to give us a little bit of a plug. I know that she has a community that we can join. So Danni, can you let us know, how do we continue to work with you? How do we learn more about glowing up fit after 40?
Yes, so 2 ways. So I have this community of women who are either approaching 40, close to it, because some are like, well, can I join and I'm not 40 yet? Yes. Or, in their 40s and 50s, and it's called the Transformation Tribe, and it is a free community. And the point of the community is for us to just be with each other and set goals and, do all those things that we talked about during this live. And how you join this community, you can either click the link in bio at my Just Danni Fit Over 40 account on Instagram, or you can comment transform on any reel that I have. It don't even matter what reel. You just comment transform and you'll receive the invitation. And why you should do that now is because we are starting our new year reset. The first email is going to that email list today on December 5th. Right? And we are resetting ourselves and preparing for what we're about to do in 2026. Okay? So that's how you can get in touch with me and be in community with me, and work with me if you choose to.
All right. So I'm putting it on Instagram right now. Join the free Transformation Tribe. I'm putting the link right now.
You want me to send it to you now?
Yeah, no, I already put it.
Got it. Oh, right. You got the link.
Yes. Yep, and I'm going to pin it right there, so that's easy. And I'm also actively putting it in the chat on YouTube, but it'll also be in the description, or you can look or you will look in the comments, and then that way that you guys can join the Transformation Tribe, because what we're not here to do is to live life, work, pay bills, and die, right? We should be constantly working on becoming better versions of ourselves. And if that looks like working with a coach, if that looks like being motivated by your community, if that looks like getting your finances in order, your credit in order, your fitness in order, your love life in order, your skin, your hair, your nails, your spirit, your soul, your mind, your relationships, then we have to do something different to get a different result. Many times that means surrounding ourselves with like-minded people who have a similar vision. Sometimes that means working with people who can help us to execute. But I don't want you to sit back and think that your life is just your life, right? God gave us free will. So use that free will to transform your love life. You have an opportunity to work with Danni in her Transformation Tribe. I put the links everywhere. The link is also in her bio. I'll have it in the description, in the caption, everywhere, in the comments. You can work with me, but you have to do something different to get a different result. You've invested in every other element of your life, many times not investing in you. So it's time for you to do something different. And I want you to go ahead and click that link. You can join Danni's community. Danni, any final thoughts before we let you go?
I would just say, dream big and take care of you.
Dream big and take care of you. I love that. All right, folks, it's been a pleasure. We're actually going to take our talents over to TikTok. So if you have time and you miss some of this live stream and you want to learn a little bit more about changing your mindset and low cost, and higher cost ways that you can age gracefully, join us on TikTok at Align with Alison. If you're coming in through my page, it's the same name. And Danni, same name for you on TikTok?
Same name. Yep, Just Danni Fit Over 40.
All right. All right, folks. We'll see you on TikTok. Bye.
Bye.